Okay, someday I'm going to be able to put the shovel in the ground and it's just gonna slide in. My rows are gonna be like fluffy and full of nice tilth. I think because it's dry, it's getting a little bit, whoa. Okay, it's getting a little bit easier as I go down the row because it's wetter down there. But it's really hard to get the shovel in still, so this is not enjoyable. But I'm hoping with enough rounds of like cover crop, compost, I'm going to top this with leaves, that I hope someday when I'm really old and can't shovel very well, that it's way easier to do this. I'm planting, these are all the Allium that I bought, all different varieties. I love Allium. They do look like an onion because they're in the onion family. And I think they bloom, is it June? I think it's June, maybe early July, depending on the variety. And then they are like a perennial. This is my perennial area. I was kind of saving this row for perennials that I'm getting next spring. But this is typical of me. I don't really make a plan when I order stuff. So I was walking around and I'm like, where am I going to plant these Alliums? So I'm putting them here. I'm going to have to find another row for some of the perennials I'm getting next spring. And I'm starting to care less about whether the right end of the Allium is down or not. I'm pretty confident they're just going to grow for me. So trying to quick get some work done. The weather is really nice. I feel like I need to take advantage of any time that's nice. But I'm kind of in my good clothes, but I have to meet Bob in like 20 minutes. We're actually going on a mid afternoon hike here. He has to check out a trail for school for his work, so I said I would go along. But I had like just a little bit of time here, so instead of getting changed, here I am. So I only bought 200 tulips this year. I think last year I did 1,200. And I don't know if you remember me saying in the spring that, yeah, I'm never sure about tulips. I don't love them. Like, I like them, but they're not my favorite thing to grow, and it's always busy when I need to be harvesting them, and I don't have cooler space. There's just a lot of logistics with them, and they're not a high profit flower for me. I don't even know if I make money, because 50 cents ish, probably more than 50 cents per bulb, and I just never harvest all of them and then get the right price point I need. And there's so many other good growers doing this larger scale and very efficiently, so I let them do it. That's my thinking, and I will focus on the plants that I love and that grow well for me. So, yes, 200 tulips. And then the other crates. So these are the things I've done wrong. These are dried up peony roots that I bought in the spring, meaning to fill holes in the field, but I never got back to it. So I don't even think they're going to grow. I think they're dead, but I don't know. That variety might be okay. Like there is some life on some of them. So I don't know. I'm just going to put them in here, squish them in a crate and see if anybody decides to grow next spring, and then I will deal with it then. I just feel dumb. Peonies are somewhat expensive to buy. These are not I actually have 20 peony roots in the barn that are like $35 each wholesale. So I'm definitely getting them in the ground still this week. These were, I think, about $5 each. So yeah, still a lot of money I'm wasting. But just thought I'd show you that I do not do everything right. So yeah, that's me. Okay, I'm going to quick do this. These are going in the same spot they were last year, but fresh mushroom compost. And we'll see what happens in the spring. Okay, how is it a week already is done? And I'm out of time. I need to switch next week to everything Christmas market because I have to be at a Christmas market in 2 weeks, 2 weeks from today. So enough of fall cleanup. And I thought I was feeling pretty good, but I keep finding stuff to plant. So like the tulip bulbs are planted, the allium are all in the ground, and I topped it with mushroom compost to just fill in the cracks. I didn't say that earlier, but it was planted in cover crop, that row. So I just dug up the cover crop, and it's all cover crop that should die this winter if it gets cold enough. So I topped it with mushroom compost, and then my son keeps bringing me leaves, which is great. So I put leaves on top just to keep the weeds down as the allium grows in the spring. And then I also have enough leaves, and I think he's bringing me more today to put some more on my perennial rows, which is great. So that needs to happen today. And then I keep finding things to plant, like this big perennials. It's anemones, perennial anemones that were hiding in the back of my fridge in the house. So when I was planting my perennials in the spring, I forgot to plant this, and they look alive still. So I'm going to be planting these today. And I have a bag of these etched salmon peonies. They are so pretty, but crazy expensive. So they have to, I didn't forget about them. I just got them in the mail a week ago, but like $35 wholesale for this one root. Now it does have, like they say, they're going to have 3 to 5 eyes on them. It definitely has 5 beautiful eyes here, and it's starting to root out. So they have to go on the ground today, because if I don't, I know I'm going to get sidetracked with wreaths next week, and these are just going to sit. And I can't afford to lose these because I love them and they're expensive. So anyways, I got all my row cover picked out of the field and boxed up and put in the barn. I've been working at plugging away at rolling out my hoses, and I typically forget some out there, so I'm trying really hard to get them all rolled up and also put in the barn. The pump is put away. Bob helped me with that because it can't freeze, and it looks like we're going into more colder temperatures next week. So that's a pretty important job. So that's done. Cover crop is germinating, which is awesome. And I got the fence pulled in from the pasture because I can't leave that out all winter because the river usually hasn't yet floods. And would wreck the fencing. So the girls are now in the barn for the winter. They're hanging out with the Billy right now. And I might have found some trees in my cooler also that I didn't finish planting in the spring. So I did get quite a few in the ground, but there was about 20 trees left. So I filled in holes in the field, and I actually put a row of cedar on the other side of the house. Yeah, so all the trees I planted this year are looking good so far. I gave them a scoop of compost, so hopefully they have a good winter and come back next spring. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. But behind me is today's job also, besides the planting, because this needs to be cleaned out because I need to fill this with cedar for my wreaths for next week. And my market stuff is on the side here, and I really don't want that getting wet and snowy if the snow swirls in here. I can't close this door anymore, so everything that doesn't want to get wet needs to come out and go into the barn. So that is also going to happen today before the day's over. And so that next week, I'm just going to focus on Christmas. So yeah, thanks for hanging out with me again this week and watching my video. And I hope to see you next week as we get ready for the Christmas market.